Hello and good to see you again. This video is going to be titled Artificial Intelligence. I've been receiving some emails from students asking me about different jobs in law enforcement, police officer, etc. And they were trying to pick my brain on what is happening to the field of law enforcement as in terms of what's artificial intelligence going to do with the future jobs. And so I recently posted a video that I want you guys to all watch if you're thinking about becoming a police officer. It's Wall Street Journal, WSJ, posted it on June 4th, 2019. So it's very fresh, hot off the press. And it talks about New Orleans and how they've installed cameras all over the place in their city that has artificial intelligence. And to give you an idea of how artificial intelligence is working for their agency, the actual system is tied to the 911 call center. And so when they receive a police call for service, and say, for example, that the call is taking place at 9th and Broadway, the artificial intelligence system will already understand that address and automatically activate the cameras in that intersection, 9th and Broadway, and even in some cases back up the tape that has been running so that they can actually find out what happened before the crime was committed. Think about this for a second, right? And then the other part is that they are able to go into the system and type in, for example, they're looking for a suspect with the red shirts, and the computer artificial intelligence system will now search on video, be able to search the video for all people wearing a red shirt around the proximity of when the crime happened. So if up until now some of you are skeptics about is artificial intelligence going to affect law enforcement, I gotta tell you, yes, it is going to affect. It has been affecting. The system that's in place at New Orleans is one of the most sophisticated ones in the country, but all agencies are jumping on board. So what does this mean for you, the student, the applicant, the person who's interested in becoming a police officer? What is artificial intelligence doing to you? Well, all I can tell you is that you can't ignore it. You can't simply say, well, I don't believe in it, so I'm not going to prepare for it. Well, you have to prepare for it if you want a job in today's law enforcement. And so what are some of the courses that you can take to prepare yourself for a job in today's law enforcement starting in 2019? Well, for starters, you need to definitely take some computer science courses, computer engineering. You need to understand how computers work, how they respond, how they react with other systems. And so it's no longer that you're going to learn about laws and you're going to take criminal justice courses. You need to prepare for your resume. You need to start putting some actual artificial intelligence related courses. And what I'm telling you is computer science, intro to computers, how computers are built, different operating systems, etc. Because if you have that on your resume, when you apply to various agencies, they're going to see you as an asset to their organization, and you're going to be so much more ahead of other applicants that only have administration of justice, intro courses, basic criminal justice courses. And so that's what I wanted to share with you. I want you to be prepared for what is happening. I assure you that it's going to continue to evolve. The research that I have been doing in artificial intelligence, even from a few years ago, is saying that we are basically 35 to 40 years ahead of schedule on the development of artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence is speeding up the process of artificial intelligence. Think about this. There's artificial intelligence programs that are speeding up the development of other artificial intelligence programs. Now, a lot of people will tell you that artificial intelligence is going to make it easier for humans. But the reality is that artificial intelligence is going to replace many jobs currently performed by humans. And so at the same time, there are going to be a bunch of other jobs that are going to be needed in computer engineering to support, for example, the systems that law enforcement is going to need for the future of law enforcement and artificial intelligence as it applies to law enforcement activities. And so other agencies, I think I've played it in my class a few times in the past. Salinas is already using a computer artificial intelligence program to predict when crimes are going to happen in their city. and it's been very effective. They can actually deploy manpower or officers on the beat whenever the computer says, hey, based on previous crime statistics, we're going to need more officers in this area, because chances are, because of probability statistics, a crime will in fact happen. And in the video that I showed with Salinas Police, they actually had officers deployed to this area where the computer said, chances are crime's going to happen, burglaries are up, this is a prime time, and then they go ahead and contact someone who's acting suspicious, and turns out he's on parole and he hasn't checked in with his parole officer. And guess what he's on probation for, or parole? He's on parole for burglary, so property thefts. So the system is super accurate in terms of reliability. And if now you're at the point where you're going to do this, I urge you to do that. One more thing before I turn off the video. I received another email from a student asking me about forensics and what I thought about forensics degree in criminal justice. And I responded with mixed feelings on the degree itself. I know there's a select group of universities throughout California that have modified their criminal justice programs to specialize in forensics. The problem, I will tell you, as a current college professor, former police officer, is that there are not that many jobs out there in the forensics field. For example, the local crime lab here has about 10 forensics experts working for them, and they are serving 5 or 6 counties. Think about this for a second. 10 experts working in a crime lab serving 5 or 6 counties. Those jobs don't come very often, right? They don't come open very often. They basically are rare to find. And so if you finish your 2-year degree and you make the mistake of going into forensics because you think it's exciting, you've been watching TV and Law and Order, and you say, hey, forensics is what I want to do, my caution to you, and this is pretty serious, is that you check into what jobs are actually available in that field before you commit to getting a 4-year degree in that field. For example, criminal justice right now is a hot topic. 40,000 job openings, 40,000 job openings in California alone. I ran into a deputy sheriff the other day. I don't know if I did a video about it or not, but he's with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office. They are down 600 positions. Think about this for a second, 600 positions. So if you're like the person like I was, you're looking to get a job in law enforcement, and you're like, will there be jobs? Hello? Yes, there's going to be hundreds, thousands of jobs waiting for you. They are currently waiting for you. However, if you decide that it's kind of cool to get a degree in forensics, you would love to get forensics education, okay, fine, go get a forensics education degree, but then realize that you may not find jobs in that field. You may not find open jobs, and you don't want to wait 5-10 years for somebody to retire before you can apply and have to compete with thousands of applicants for one position. On the contrary, I urge you to do your homework, do your research, find out what's going to be best for you. And so in this case, I'm going to close this video on a few topics you need to pay close attention to: artificial intelligence, computer engineering courses, and lastly, don't forget, before you decide to take a academic program, before you enroll in an academic program to get a degree, you need to do your homework to find out how many jobs are going to be around, open jobs, in the next 3, 5, 10 years. Thank you for listening. Continue sending those questions to me, and take good care of yourselves. Remember, you got to do the sacrifices now, got to make the sacrifices so that your future self will benefit from the sacrifices you make today. So make the sacrifices today, build your career now and play in the future, or play now excessively and then suffer in the future. Take good care of yourself.